Let me just preface by saying this. The phrase, just fix it, and 6L80s and 6L90s doesn't go together. Hey, what's up guys? This is Cole with Yukon Transmissions. Today we got a customer's core in, we got it torn down, and this gives me a great opportunity to show you guys all the failure points on 6L80s and 6L90s. There are quite a few of them, so strap in. First issue that we see, actually the most common one that we see on every single 6L80 that we tear apart, aside from some very early units because of tuning, is PR valve wear. They wear not only on the outboard, but the inboard side. The anodizing starts to wear off, and you can get high line pressure, low line pressure. Most of the time they wear both pretty evenly, so you don't really notice a difference, but your trans definitely notices a difference. First issue that most customers notice is a converter shutter condition. This can happen at any point above about 18 miles an hour is when the torque converter locks up in stock tuning. Most of the time it's at highway speeds that a customer will notice a slight shuddering sensation. That is torque converter clutch failure caused by the PR valve. Main thing we do to solve PR valve wear is we go in and we install the Transgo Tow and Pro kit. That has worked really well for us. We've had a lot of success with that kit, improving shift quality and reliability of the unit as a whole. Next thing we usually see is wear in the pump body and on the stator. We usually see this because of lack of service, especially during torque converter clutch failure. Most customers will kind of put it off. They'll service it. The fluid will look absolutely terrible. At that point, if the fluid looks terrible, it needs to be built. Unfortunately, 6L80s, 6L90s are just that way. If the fluid condition is that of motor oil, it needs to be built. Not fixed, built. Because this is what your pump looks like. The pump is obviously a very important piece of your transmission. It is what provides the flow of hydraulic fluid through your transmission. And if it looks like this, then you need a new one, or you need to have this one resurfaced. Same thing with your stator, either get a new one or get it resurfaced. We resurface every single one here, mostly because the metal that comes out of the torque converter during converter clutch failure finds its way into the pump, and it starts absolutely destroying both the pump body and the stator face. And it also floods your transmission bearings and gear train with fine metallic particles, which are not good for either of those, which can cause a litany of failures. Most of the time what we see when we see PR valves wear on the inboard side very heavily is a high line pressure failure. Most of the time that results in 1, 2, 3, 4 pistons cracking and 3, 5 reverse drums cracking. That can cause, in this transmission, it caused 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch failure, which is what this looks like, which this causes obviously no forward engagement. You sometimes will still have reverse engagement depending on how long you've been driving it. If you're an idiot, you drive it. Again, we see a lot of these 3, 5 reverse drums cracking. They have come out with an updated drum. We weld ours, but they have come out with an updated one that solves that issue. We also always just use the Sonex pistons, the billet ones. That solves this issue. Another extremely common failure that we see is overdrive clutch failure. Same as the 68, it turns these things into dust. It's extremely common. Customer really won't notice anything. Most of the time they feel it in a combination with a shutter condition. Sometimes it can occur as a 3/4 slip or kind of a loose 3/4 shift. Most of the time we see it in combination with all of these other failures. So if you're gonna have your 6L80 opened up, you might as well do it right the first time. Replace the 1, 2, 3, 4 piston, have your drum either replaced with the updated one or welded, machine the stator, get either a new bell housing or get this one resurfaced, get a billet torque converter, and have every single clutch replaced and the transmission completely cleaned, as well as the cooler system completely flushed. That's another huge thing on these trucks, especially because of rampant torque converter failure. It absolutely floods the cooler system with extremely fine metallic particles that can destroy the next transmission that you put in it. So it's extremely important to service these often and keep the cooler system serviced as well. That just about covers it. Thank you guys for watching. If you are planning on buying one of these trucks with a 6L80 or a 6L90, it doesn't matter. Please understand what you're buying is a ticking time bomb. That's a terrible way to put it. So that pretty much wraps it up, guys. Thank you for watching. If you plan on buying one of these trucks, please be aware of the failure points and the possibility of transmission replacement. If the time comes for transmission replacement, please give us a call and let's help you out. We can get a unit to you and get you back on the road. Thank you, guys.